This is He Said, She Said, a relationship podcast. I'm Sarah.
I am Luke.
And we are finally back in the studio.
I thought you were going to say saddle.
No.
Aerosmith.
No.
You got a problem with Aerosmith?
It's just a little dated. It's showing our age a little bit.
Ageist.
Anyway, so we took a break. We haven't recorded since August, but we are Luke and Sarah. We are married with kids, and we kind of hit a rut with the podcast, if you will. So
it was less the podcast's fault. Sorry, I'm tired. We just ate a crap load of wings, so full and
food
sleepy.
Coma.
It was less the podcast's fault and more like we had so much shit happen all at once.
We did.
Which, you know what? Happens. And you know what we did? We did we. Instead of you did you.
You do you.
But like, we just got busy. Period.
Right.
Had a lot of things going on. And then we've gone through the past probably a month now of at least one person in our house has been sick.
Oh, yes.
Constantly at some point.
Someone's always sick with something.
It's, yeah.
So
Cold, flu,
But
cold again.
here we are.
Yeah.
It's the Friday before Halloween. That's exciting. It actually feels like fall outside. Also very exciting. So we are going to do a little Halloween episode.
I want to interrupt you just a second to say I'm going to do my best. I'm a little later in the sickness than Sarah. She's cleared up a lot more than I have. I will do my best to not cough or snort into the phone. That's not me. That's Sarah. So
I'm pretty stuffy all of a sudden.
Forgive me.
It'll be okay. But anyway, it's fall. It's fall, y'all. I hate that.
Come on.
Anyway, we're going to talk about some fun Halloween stuff. We have some Halloween-inspired questions. We're going to check in with Old Man Holtzberry. And a new segment we're calling Kids. They're weird, tiny humans. So, yeah. Do we want to just dive right into our topics? Do you want to talk about our weeks? Nothing really exciting is happening. We're
There's
sick.
nothing going on. We're sick, and then we're busy at work, and then we come
do
home.
have exciting plans tomorrow, though. Let's talk about that. It's Halloween related. So tomorrow, for the first time since her birth, Luke and I are spending a night away from Sydney. So that's like together.
At the same time.
Yeah. We've definitely both spent time when the other one's here. So this is new, unprecedented territory. Grammy Linda is coming up to hang out with Sid and spend the night with her here. And we got a hotel, and we have our yearly Halloween party we go to, which I'm super excited about because it's just fun. So, yeah.
We might even get an Uber.
We might even Uber so no one has to
I've
do
never
the
done
DD.
that.
It's so fun. It's not really. It's just like a taxi in someone's car instead.
It's kind of weird.
They say your name when they pick you up. That's how you know they're not a serial killer.
I know, but I don't know. It's just odd.
Ohio people are very against the Uber because I was talking to someone else about it. I think it was Jill when we were in Vegas. I was like, we can just use Uber. She's like, I don't know if I trust that. I'm like, it's fine. People do it every day.
You just go to somebody who's got multiple 5-star ratings, right?
No, you go to whoever's available. You can do that. I'm not that. Sorry, I hit my mic thing. I'm not that picky. I'm like, oh, it's a car.
Did we get the monitor?
No, but shh. I'm pretty sure she's asleep now. Sydney took a 2.5-hour nap today, so she was still awake when we started recording, but I'm pretty sure she's probably asleep now. She's fine. So anyway, that's exciting. Halloween, night out, parents' night out.
And neither of us are going to sleep in tomorrow because we have a 2-year-old and we have a car appointment at 8:45 in the morning.
Maybe we'll take a nap before we go to the party.
Or maybe we go to the hotel room and take a nap.
That's what I meant.
Oh, I thought you meant like before we leave when Sydney naps.
No.
Which is also an option.
So in our Halloween theme, I was thinking we could talk about some kid-friendly Halloween movies because we didn't watch any of these, but I like them all. So my top kid Halloween movies, I don't know if you have any to add, but
you go ahead.
I love Hocus Pocus. I'm not a big Disney person, but I love that movie. I used to watch it all year round when I was a kid. Nightmare Before Christmas, classic. I really liked Coraline, like a lot.
Still never seen it.
It's freaky shit, but like for kids.
Oh, we saw that Simpsons episode this week?
Yeah.
Was that the new Treehouse of Horrors, or was that the old one that we watched that had Coraline?
I think it was the new one. No, it was the old one, because that movie came out a while ago. I don't know.
Anyway, I saw it and I'm like, I don't get any of these references.
I watched it with Nevi recently. I thought we watched that one with Josie.
Probably. No, I didn't watch it.
No, we did.
No, I personally did not watch it.
Huh.
I've never seen it.
We should watch it again because it's a good movie. It's just good. The cat talks. Everyone loves it. I like the ones with talking cats. Hocus Pocus has a talking cat.
Were you a fan of Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
I totally was, with the ridiculous talking cat. Salem, that was his name.
Interesting.
Melissa Joan Hart. What else is on your list?
Are those yours on that?
I mean, Great Pumpkin is like, it's not like good, but you watch it.
Classic.
If Sydney would let us watch anything besides Sesame Street.
There is that Halloween episode of Sesame, though, that's I can tolerate.
You haven't seen it 20 times a day. You see it like once a day. I won't see it.
Good face.
I won't sing it.
My household was a little different, child-wise, with Halloween movies because my parents didn't really shelter me. But, I mean, we had our boundaries, but my parents really liked Halloween. So it's funny, you know how I have my things where I like to show people things?
Yes.
My dad likes to do that with some things. I get it from my dad. But he you could tell he could not wait to show us some movies from not old, but at that time we didn't know. Like, I remember the first time he showed us Alien. Mm-hmm. He's like, you gotta watch this movie. And we're just like, I was probably 11 or 12. And we were just like, whoa. Because it had F words in it. And we're like, sweet.
It had F words?
Yeah. And you got to see Sigourney Weaver's butt crack. Just the top of it.
Gross.
Sigourney Weaver's not gross.
But butt cracks aren't like sexy.
When you're an 11-year-old boy and
a butt crack is sexy.
If you see like high up on a woman's arm, you're like
butt cleavage.
Cleavage. So, but like movies like that.
There's our name of our episode.
Bleavage.
If this was doo-doo streaking. No. We're not making that the name.
Oh, fine. How about scary bleavage? Make it. See, but Halloween movies. So the movies I watched a lot when I was a kid at Halloween would have been, I know one, Ernest Scared Stupid.
Right.
I'm kind of drawing a blank now. I should have prepared. Ghostbusters.
I tried to get him to prepare, listeners, but he was very busy at work this week.
This week, my work has been nutso for like the past 2 or 3 months.
That's
hence
part of
a lot of
the reason why we've been
because, I have not worked a
normal week
of like, I can just plan my day and all. It's been a while because it's just everybody wants everything right now,
right? And you're got like those weekend events too going on,
which is fine. Like being busy is a good problem.
It is.
So I don't want to necessarily complain about it, but it does make you not want to podcast. Let's see. Night of the Living Dead was a big one in me childhood. Not really a Halloween movie, but Little Shop of Horrors was one that we watched a lot around Halloween. Young Frankenstein, probably my second or third favorite like Halloween.
That was on the list
movie.
I saw of like kid friendly ones.
Really?
Yeah. Well, like
I guess it's okay to
like
watch
kids that can sit and watch a whole movie with real people in it.
Goddamn Addams Family.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Because we watched Fresh Off the Boat.
Oh, yeah.
and was it Emery or Evan? I can never remember their names. What's the younger one? Evan? Evan's the younger one. Instead of going out and getting pumpkins with his dad, he bought a more economical light up pumpkin and he hit it and it wouldn't do what they want to do what they want to say. Like that whole thing from Addams Family 2. Anyway. I think that about rounds out the list of ones I can remember at this current point in time.
Okay. Something else I was thinking about, because it actually came up in conversation with us. Young's Dairy has a haunted hayride, and I'm like, ooh, it's too late now because the season's over and Nevi's with her mom this weekend. But I was like, we could have totally taken Nevi on that this year, so we're going to take her next year for the first time. But how old, these are connected, how old is too old for trick-or-treating, do you think?
This comes up a
And
lot
then-
every year. You read about it.
How old is old enough for like their first haunted hayride?
Okay, so
Discuss.
let's first put it out there of it's one of the things where every year there's certain times where you see complaints happen. Like the Super Bowl happens and people bitch about commercials.
Right. It's a seasonal, like,
I should say football happens and people start bitching about the national anthem.
the seasonal
which I will
bitching and
get to
moaning.
later. What's some other things? There's just like seasonal bitching
Christmas,
happens every time.
the Christmas music always starts too
Christmas
soon.
music starts too soon.
I mean, people are already
Why
complaining
is it
about.
hot already in April? Why is it cold already in October? No, it's hot again. It's kind of like, assholes, this shit happens every year. Don't act surprised. Like,
Well, and it's changing because of climate change.
Keep shooting your chemicals into the air and then bitch about it.
Right.
Anyway, that's not. But I'm saying, as seasonal bitching goes, one of the seasonal bitchings you hear every year is, "Oh, there's damn teenagers trick or treating, taking the candy from the kids." And it's
First off, kids don't need candy. Period.
right.
It's bad for everyone. Why not let the teenagers get in on it?
I personally am for teenagers trick or treating.
Well, because they're not out causing trouble. Is the way, or like making bad choices.
I was like, you know some shit I did instead of trick or treating?
Right.
Egged people's stuff. We had shaving cream fights. And my generation was part of the reason that our town, I don't know if they still do it, but our town stopped doing trick or treat at dark because of people like me.
Right. Nice.
So now, our town does do trick or treat.
Well, because, okay, so in my mind, the last year I did it personally was 13, 8th grade.
Mine was 6th grade.
So if I would have continued to, I probably may have not gotten into trouble doing other things I shouldn't have been doing as a 14, 15, 16-year-old, like smoking cigarettes.
Just cigarettes?
Just cigarettes. Maybe not.
That's true.
I mean, honestly, like...
So it's harmless. Like, who cares?
It is. And no, they probably won't have a costume because they probably tried to pretend they didn't want to go until the last minute.
Hang on.
Oh, is this two different topics?
Hang on.
Okay.
You're going to trick or treat. Put on a goddamn costume.
No, but you don't let me finish. It's because they didn't realize, or they were in denial that I don't want to go. That's for kids. I'm not a kid. But then at the last minute, they're like, man, I really want to go trick or treating.
Then you make a costume last minute. At least paint your face.
Wow.
Because don't get me wrong,
still think
I'm for this, but wear a costume.
Okay.
Don't besmirch the holy day of Halloween with no costume.
All you whippersnappers listening.
I'm not ready yet. But I do think it's I don't know, it's a positive thing, and there are a lot of kids who make their own costumes. It's super creative. Like, let them go out and let it be seen.
Plus, like, if you have a child under 2 years of age and you're trick or treating with them, it's not for your kid. It's
Right.
for you.
Shouldn't the question be, how young is too young?
Right.
I don't want our 2-year-old eating goddamn candy right now.
We're just gonna take her to a couple houses
I don't want her
because
to get taste for blood yet.
she's excited. Like, she has a little costume and she has her little plastic pumpkin
That she's been
carries
carrying around for 2 weeks.
Like she's excited, and
She goes, "Is that pumpkin?"
she likes to quiz us. I love it. It's so sweet.
It's because we did it to her for.
Right.
Oh, Sydney, is that your nose? Is that
Right.
your eyes? And now she does it to us. It's adorable.
Is that Abby? She's been obsessed with Abby today. Okay, so trick-or-treating, we're for the teenagers. I put in my notes, would you rather teenagers be doing drugs/drinking?
Can I add one more Halloween topic?
I have a couple more.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. We haven't talked about what about haunted houses? When is too old? Or when are you old enough?
It depends on the haunted house.
Depends on the haunted house. Our local young dairy farm has a family-friendly haunted hayride. I think an 11 or 12-year-old could totally go on that.
They'll usually
Some people, I mean, they put a long-ass description on their Facebook page of exactly, they broke it down, this is what happened. It's very dark. They jump up on the wagon, but they don't touch anyone. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
we were just talking at work today that Angie at work, hi Angie, if you happen to be listening.
Hi Angie.
Mentioned, I think she said it was in Urbana or somewhere, but they had one and it had it said at this time is blah blah, but after this time is the scarier
it's super
one.
scary. That's
so you had
smart.
levels of it
For younger kids. That's good. I like that.
And even if it's too scary, most of the reputable places should have an escape. Okay, you're scared. There's the exits if you can't.
The Haunted Trail, which is out of control Land of Illusion thing now in Middletown, but when it was just the Middletown Haunted Trail, my friend Ashley, she hit her head really hard on something in this part that had a man in a gorilla suit. And she was like, whoa, the guy took his mask off and was like, are you okay? Do I need to walk you out? He was super worried because she banged it on this big piece of wood. She was okay. We drug her through the rest of it. I mean,
this day and age of concussions and all the research, he'd have probably been we got to put you through the protocol. I don't know if we can put you back out
this
there.
was back in the day. We were in high school, I think.
A joke.
But, okay. So this is, I'm proud of this next one. So this next little mini topic is carving pumpkins. Sounded like a good idea at the time. It's just work. The kids don't want to touch the goo. It takes forever. They rot.
No.
Just paint them.
Nevi doesn't like to touch the goo.
No, I see it online all over the place.
Right. Okay.
It's fun and it looks very festive.
Okay, but that's what dads are for.
This is true.
We'll clean them out.
It's just a mess.
Even though it is kind of funny to hear Nevi going
and there'll be 1 year at least where we'll make it when she's older.
Yeah.
But she's so little right now. I'm she's
either
fine.
way. If I have a good painting idea, I'll do that. If I have a good carving idea, I'll do that. But this year, like I said, we didn't even.
I don't even think we're going to get pumpkins.
It was.
I'm going to buy one of those ceramic.
Pumpkin.
Yeah. That girl, my October babe, she loves pumpkins. She was in heaven. I kind of want to take her back one more time before all the pumpkins go away.
Is that pumpkin?
She was just so happy. She was just smiling everywhere, patting them. Oh, so sweet.
And they had those giant pumpkins that are 4 feet wide.
She was trying to pick them up. It was adorable. So, okay. Carving pumpkins. Oh, couples costumes. Yay or nay?
Well, I like them because, I don't know, it's just nice to match. A good idea. I don't... Disclaimer. This is the first year in many years that I have basically... It wasn't a complete costume store-bought, but all the individual pieces I bought from a store.
Right.
I normally make my costume or repurpose things.
Yes.
But this year, our couple's costume, which we will not yet reveal. Oh, wait, by the time this airs, it'll already be done.
Yeah.
Oh, so go to our Instagram. We'll post it there.
Well, why don't we just tell them?
We can tell we are doing the first victim of Scream.
Casey Becker.
I'm the guy who kills her, and I kill Sarah.
I get to wear a wig.
And I made her a shirt with a lot of goo on it. But I did store-bought because it went with yours. My point is, I put a lot of pride into my costumes.
You do.
I take, like I said before, our family was way into Halloween, and I just love Halloween and the kind of getting to be something else for a little while. I probably have some deeper issues there.
Probably.
But I don't know. I just think it's fun and it's cool.
It is fun. I'm super excited. I thought of it.
If it works, and normally Sarah knows I'm very critical of ideas.
He is.
But what I was going to say was, if it works, fine. But I disclaimer, not trying to piss anyone off either. The store-bought couples costumes are we're salt and pepper. I'm come on.
You don't like the punny ones?
Sometimes. No, the thing
punny,
is,
those aren't really
here's
punny,
the thing,
though.
If it's punny and you made it yourself,
yeah,
fine.
But a Freudian slip.
If it's punny and you bought it from the store, then I'm like, that's not your pun. That's one that you walked through the store and said, that's funny.
Like I always remember one of my sociology professors in college. She went as a Freudian slip, and she wore like a slip and like carried a pipe. And I think he had a beard and glasses. Funny. So
did she wear a beard?
I think so.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Or like, what if like the wife was a bun and the husband was a hot dog? That would be fun. That's a funny one. And you could buy those from a store, but they'd still be funny.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't like the.
That's okay.
But not everybody's.
We're not here
Halloween.
to judge.
But couples costumes, if it's a good idea and it works, I'm totally for it.
I am for them because I always like to go woe is me as a young adolescent. I didn't have a date to any school dance. So I always think of Halloween as like, it's an outward, you have a party we go to, you get dressed up. It's just dressed up in a different way. So you need to match. I don't know.
And we haven't gone at the same time.
I know. It's been a few years.
We overlapped a little bit last year. That was it.
No, we didn't. We went completely separate last year.
Year before that.
When Sydney was a like newborn, we were there at the same time. But I don't count that year at all because I was just a mess that entire first year. Probably year and a half of her life, practically. Yeah. So.
Hi guys, ready to party. I have to go pump.
No, I had to go feed her, and then people kept walking in, and everyone else got embarrassed. I didn't really give a shit. I was like, she's just eating. You're not bothering me. She's so newborny that she doesn't care. She's not going to get distracted. Yeah. But anyway.
I think. And you should not ever force a couple's costume upon people.
No.
If you're not on board, think of something else that you can both be on board with, because then they're going to spend the whole night going, we're going to wear this stupid costume.
That is true, but then
like Jim from The Office.
Couldn't
you just put on the goddamn Popeye uniform, Jim? No, because you were uncomfortable, but you did to make your wife happy.
Okay. So next, let's just segue right into Old Man Holtzberry.
We're going to make jingles eventually.
Oh, fun.
I already thought of one for this one.
Good.
It's going to be like old-timey music, like piano music.
I was going to see if you
sounds.
Sorry.
I don't know if I'll have time. I won't have time.
No, I thought you could like spooky up our intro music for this episode since it's Halloween.
You jealous because me and Sean did that?
A little, but just because it's like we're like Halloween, woo! But the music's like
I'll
all
just
happy.
put like a wolf howl in it or something. You have to,
do that.
You have to remind me though.
Yeah, do that.
But I was gonna do like.
Ow! Sorry, I'm sorry.
Speaking of being jealous of Sean, you two both interrupt so much. At least you don't have the Dave from Van Halen soundboard.
I'm going to get it now just to be funny.
I don't know if you listened to the last episode, but he also got a James Hetfield from Metallica soundboard.
Is it on his phone? Is that an app?
Yeah.
I'm totally going to text him like, show me this app.
Anyway. Shit.
Old Man Holtzberry.
Oh, so I was thinking I'll do like old timey music, like pianos, like ding 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 ding, ding. And then like clippity clop of like a horse carriage going by, and then just be like, "Welcome to Old Man Holtzberry's
I thought
Rants.
it could be like,
"You sons of bitches" or something.
That would be, or like, "Get off my lawn."
Anyway, so my complaint this week, I attended a lot of events with the general public lately, and I know a lot of people like to yap, and I deal with the public a lot. Having done it in bands, networking for work, being in retail, something that drives me absolutely bonkers is when people don't understand social cues that I don't care what you're talking about. So I can kind of put it up with elderly people, because a little bit of me is like,
they're slower on the uptake.
I got it. No. It's not that.
They just don't give a shit?
Exactly.
Yeah.
When I worked retail, I got it a lot. And like I got friendly with a few of these people, and you kind of let it go because they were good people.
Well, because with old people, I think about it this way too.
It's interaction.
They could die. Like
right.
They could die the next day. Let them talk to you.
There was one old guy, rich motherfucker, drove a what was it?
Was that the one you said you wished would pretend he was your uncle? There was one you're like, maybe he'll leave us money.
Yeah.
Because you didn't think he had any family.
And I remember last time I talked to my old manager, I was like, have you seen him lately? And she's like, no. But he drove like a Jaguar or some shit.
Oh, wow.
And like, he was in bad shape. I know he had to get like part of his jaw removed and stuff. But like he was spry and shit, and he was with it.
Besides the jaw thing.
But like, man, he would go on and on about politics and stuff, and you're just like, oh God. But at the same time, you're like, you tell him, sir. And I'm like, but I kind of let that go, but to a point. Mm-hmm. So here's some recent things I've heard lately. One was there's this one guy who was talking to a colleague, and he just kept saying, just going on and on about this and that, and literally this and that. Like, it was like Grandpa Simpson. And you could tell the colleague was like, oh. And you could tell they kept giving, they're like, all right. They're like, and that's the like cue that you got to understand.
Right.
When are they done talking? Mm-hmm. Or when do they want to be done talking to me? It's the face Sarah's giving me right now. Just kidding. But like this particular guy, and luckily I wasn't part of the conversation, but I was observing it, and I was just like, oh my God, that's like cringy from over here. But then the guy started talking about a flagpole. He's like, I put up the biggest flagpole in the neighborhood, blah, blah, blah. And like, he said something like, oh, I know this guy, and blah, blah, blah. And we know each other from this, and blah. And he said, I can get you a big flagpole. And all the time I'm just sitting there like, oh, that poor woman. She doesn't give a shit about any of this. And then he starts talking about like, because I love the flag. I love the flag.
Oh,
and then he's like, and then he starts going off about the like NFL, the kneeling thing, which like he obviously totally did not understand, because he's like, I can't believe they're disrespecting the flag like that. They can't protest the flag. He's like, I love the flag. And then he's like, now I didn't serve in the military or anything. And I'm just like, there it is.
Do you ever wonder, like, I'm always waiting for people to like bust out like God Bless America when they start getting all passionate about how much they love the flag.
Like the movie.
Yeah, like,
well,
I don't know.
The point being, and like that whole
it's
thing
like
aside,
fanatical almost.
It is, and a lot of those people are like hyper Christian.
Yeah.
And also, like, doesn't it say in your 10 Commandments,
like, do not worship.
No, don't worship idols.
Right.
And like technically you're breaking that rule, but whatever, I'm not here to judge. Wait, I am. But he was going off and he's like, oh, I about flew out of my seat when the Steelers didn't come out for the anthem and all this stuff. And I'm just like,
he should have been standing anyway if he loves his flag so much.
That's exactly what I was saying to myself. And then he's like, you can ask my wife. And I'm just like, notice your wife isn't here. And it was just shit like that I'm like, dude, nobody cares. Like, I don't care about your stupid giant flagpole. I don't care about whatever the fuck else you were talking about. I had a guy give me a history of gavels. I'm not kidding.
Like,
all I did was say, I asked a simple question about the shape. I said, what is this for? Why is it like that? Well, you see, back in blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, oh, fuck, I shouldn't have asked that. And I was very like, oh, interesting.
Well, maybe they're paying
great.
you to be there.
You always sneak in all right, well, if you need anything else. Okay, well then in 1922. And you're like, dude, fucking, okay. I've obviously got shit to do. Like, and this probably 5 to 10 minutes that I sat there listening to this story about gavels and the history of gavels. And half of it's like, as soon as he said what it was, I was like, oh, yeah, I know what that is. But he still had to tell me.
You know, okay. You know, it would be funny for this segment. And I was listening, I promise. If we like get the egg timer and you get 5 minutes, when it buzzes, you're done. Because sometimes you get going.
I could go. So the lesson for the day is learn social cues. If you're talking to somebody and they go, well, that usually means they're about to try to find a way out of the conversation.
Yeah.
If you notice their eyes darting around like to try to find anyone that can save them. If they pretend their phone is ringing, anything like, don't be you're the one going on too long. Just cut it out.
Very good. So, that takes us into kids. They're weird, tiny humans. So we're just going to use this little snippet of the show to just like talk about funny little things.
It's in place of the old segment of
things I thought I'd never say.
Yeah.
Just because there's so many now.
It's just funny stuff that happens parenting.
So lately, Sydney has been obsessed with doors, and it's not really a new thing, but it's really come to a whole new level.
Her motor skills are so...
Yeah, and she's taller, so she can reach the knobs. Even though she can't turn them, she can just like touch them.
She can like barely shake it.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
So the other day, we spent a significant amount of time. I was on my computer. You know, I work from home, so it just follows us around. And I was sitting in the hallway outside her door. She was inside her room, closing the door, laughing hysterically because she closed the door. Then she screams because she can't open it from the inside because we have one of those knob things on it, you know, and it's latched. So I reach up and open it, and she's like cracking up. I took a video of it. She was like crying, laughing so hard, like screaming because she thought it was so funny that I was sitting on the floor in the hallway, and she's like, "Hi," and she comes out and gives me a hug, which is so sweet. And then she does it all over again. So she really just likes to open and close doors right now. Something else she's been doing that's new and weird. She grabs my cheeks. Like happy. Like she's totally happy when she's doing this. And doesn't pinch them real hard, but pinches them and pulls them and then goes, "Mommy."
She started pushing on my face today when I was putting her to bed.
It's the Peter Pan thing.
There you are, Peter.
There you are, Peter. And it hurts like a bitch. I'm like, "Don't pinch. Be gentle." And then she kind of releases a little. But man, she's always finding new and exciting ways to like injure me. Like I thought, you know, childbirth is painful. That's not the end, ladies. So prepare your cheeks for being pinched. No one pinched her when she was little.
Yeah, but then you hurt him back. You accidentally scratched her day and accidentally like banged her head on the back.
I thought I like broke her leg, get her out of the car tonight.
I scooched her up from the...
She was walking weird. I think maybe her feet fell asleep because those boots are heavier. Oh, I bet that's what it was.
But you did that, and then I lifted her up in her... She was too low on the changer, so I lifted her up and too high, and it was like...
Bonk.
Whack. And like, I didn't act like anything happened. I was like, "Oh, we're still changing your diaper." Oh my God, it was so hard. And she like had an instant of like... And then she was like, "Owlie." And I'm like, okay. You're fine. You're fine. I remember when Josie was really little, whenever... I would accidentally hit her head, or eventually when she would hit her head, but our code would be like, "Oh, just rub it. Got to get some blood to it." And I would the whole time be like, "Oh my God, I feel so bad."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nevi said something funny this week. Sydney is huge, and Nevi is also very tall.
Yeah, you were lamenting about how big Sydney was, and you look over at Nevi.
How did you get so big? And then I went over to Nevi, and I yelled at Nevi in the other room. I was like, "Nevi, why are you big?" And she just goes, "I don't know. Years? Life?" It was just funny.
It was. It was very... She amazes me sometimes with her perspective.
She is a one-of-a-kind child.
She's very literal, but like sometimes it's just so funny in those instances. But So we did have one quick little question from one of our faithful listeners.
Well, a quick multiple question. Apparently.
Well, I mean, they're all Halloweeny questions, but she was curious on if Nevi still does trick or treat, what they're dressing up as, and if Sydney actually says trick or treat, because this listener has a little boy who's just I think he's like 4 months younger. He's around the same age as Sid.
Yes, none, no.
That's not true. So Nevi definitely is still very into trick-or-treating.
Oh, yeah.
Except she really, for a minute, wanted to put on like a Halloween music show for half of trick-or-treat night. Like she was like, maybe we can go trick-or-treating for like an hour and then come back to the house and I can like set up in the driveway and sing songs at people. And I was like, honey, we don't get enough trick-or-treaters. Like people don't come to our house because of where we're located, I think, in town. And
people don't like to be performed at
that too. Like,
hey, you want candy? Watch this. And there does come a time where you have to learn to let your children down gently.
Right. And we did. I think we did an okay job.
And then I think she forgot about it.
I think I made you do it.
You did.
Because you're better at it than I am. I'm not.
But we honestly don't get very many trick-or-treaters
We don't.
here.
I think we got 7 last year. And most of them were people who knew Nevi.
Yeah.
So
and they were just on their way to the better trick-or-treat.
Exactly.
Our town's like hefty trick-or-treat.
Well, through the center. Like we live on like
but,
a
people come
quiet
from
street.
all around.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's an awful lot of full-size candy bars in this town.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
There is. So Nevi and I and Sydney were at Goodwill back in September, and they had just put their Halloween stuff out. And she saw this dragon costume. And she's like, that's what I want to be for Halloween. And I'm like, okay, I made her think about it for a whole day because it was only September.
Right.
And she's impulsive by nature of her ADHD. And I was like, are you sure? Because it's not even anything she's interested in right now. Like, I think it's because it had the mask was kind of cool. It's only half of her face. And then it has wings and a tail. And I was like, if you really want that, because since we do usually...
Just so you know, what I'm doing on my phone is related to the podcast.
Okay, that's fine. We usually do make our own costumes, or at least like piece them together. We don't like to buy things. So I told her, I said, think about it for an entire day. I said, you have to use your own money because she has a little fortune socked away from like birthday and Christmas money.
She's got more walking around money than I do.
Yeah. So I said, it wasn't too expensive altogether. I was like, if you really still want it, we'll pick it up for you this week. And the next day, I didn't even have to ask her. She's like, I really want that dragon. I was like, okay, so Nevi's going to be a dragon. And then little Miss Sydney is Wonder Woman because I found a cape the same day at Goodwill. And she had been playing with that since we bought it. And then I bought a cute little Wonder Woman dress. And it's adorable. I don't really know if she understands like the whole they put stuff in your bag because she carries that pumpkin around.
It is super funny.
And you put anything in it and she immediately goes no and takes it out.
Gets mad.
So I think we're going to just have to have like a backup bag because as soon as anyone puts anything in her pumpkin, she's going to take it out and throw it on the ground because she doesn't know what candy is. She's had like cake and cookies, but she's never had candy ever. So she doesn't even know. It's a whole new world for her. So she'll say trick or treat when we're watching the show. Sesame.
What's it sound? It sounds like shut up.
It's like
trick or, it's like up.
I don't know, but I don't know if she's going to say it in context. She does not perform. She's not that kid. When you're like, say this in front of other people, she never says it. Tonight she told a girl when we picked up dinner what her name was though, which was freaking adorable.
How did she pronounce it?
Idney. It was so sweet. What are you looking up?
I'm trying to find a wolf howl.
Oh, okay.
I'll figure it out later.
So we have our Wonder Woman and our dragon. Nevi definitely trick or treating. I bet she'll want to trick or treat. And I told her, I said, Nevi, when it starts to feel like you're too old, Sydney will just be starting out, so you can go with her and you have an excuse to go. And you don't have to feel embarrassed. Even though she's like, I'm not embarrassed because Nevi does not get embarrassed.
Unless
you say
nipple,
you say body parts to her.
Vagina
really gets her too.
Like she'll giggle when we say it in the house, but if we're in public, we say body part names, and she's like, like just imagine a teenager.
Nipple or mingle. That's where you get the good smiles out of her.
I know. If
next
you
time
can't
I'm going to send a note with her, to be like, give this to the photographer. Don't look at it. It's going to say, please say nipple.
She's going to get in trouble.
She totally would.
But the,
oh, that's not right.
What was, well, we've been driven, where did we go I was looking for a birthday present for you. And, we were just joking around in the car. And I was just joking. I was like, you dare me to roll the window down and say it? And she's just like, yeah, you won't do it. And I immediately did it. And I was like, she's like, oh my God, Dad, no. And I was like, man, those people in that car looked. She's like, oh my God, there were people. And I'm like, oh yeah, there weren't people.
That's great.
And like, I've shouted it when people are walking by just because and I've yelled it out the window in our house. I'm sure people around here are just like, oh, it's that nipple guy. But anything to embarrass your children. So there's one thing that embarrasses her.
Yeah, that's probably it though.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, we're about to wrap this up. The one little extra tidbit I will talk about really quick. This is the first year Luke and I have not made it a point to watch a ton of like classic scary movies during October.
We can't watch them because Nevi can't watch them.
Right, and we have...
What are we going to do? You're old enough for The Exorcist.
No, she's not. She could probably do Halloween, although it's kind of suspenseful. No. Oh, there's boobies too.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, I'm not scared of a boob. It's too intense.
Yeah, it's very suspenseful.
That movie.
I love that movie.
It's not responsible to
it's like my favorite one.
She could probably watch Night of the Living Dead. It's very slow.
But like we always watch like Scream and stuff. We haven't watched any of those.
Told her 15, 16. She can.
Yeah.
We'll start with the good movies.
But we can watch them still in the next couple days.
Next July, she's allowed to watch Alien.
She is.
I promised her like 2 years ago.
Yeah. But what are some other, just really quick, our favorite scary movies? My favorite is Halloween, the original. Only the original. With the spray painted gourds. Those aren't even real pumpkins in that movie because they taped it. It wasn't fall when they taped it.
Leaves are also painted.
Right. Super low budget.
I don't want to steal. Let's just take turns.
Okay.
You say one, then
Halloween.
also Scream.
No, man. That's my second one.
Okay. The Exorcist.
I mean, our child is named after Scream.
The Exorcist.
I didn't plan for this, so I don't have a list.
Oh, I can just go.
I love... Well, you go ahead. And
well, here, I can pull up the notes from me and Sean's.
I might think of other ones.
I don't know if we have a lot of cross listeners, but me and Sean on my other podcast.
I really doubt it.
Two Dudes Drinking.
Maybe Marlena.
We did a countdown of scary movies, and every week we did
I think I listened to one of those.
Genres, and then we did like a final list.
Yeah. We watched so many that I really liked Get Out, like a lot.
That was good.
Oh, it was so good.
Maybe that could be a Halloween movie.
They're called
it's more like a psychological thriller.
Not, I think they call it Social.
Blah blah blah. Poltergeist.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's one that we used to watch when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm. I can't think of any of them.
The Shining. Amityville Horror with Ryan Reynolds.
I freaking love that one. And I really liked The Conjuring because it reminded me of that.
Insidious.
Insidious, yes.
I liked that one also because it was super low budget.
Yeah.
Silent Hill.
We recently watched that It Follows.
That was good.
That was really good. That one weirded me out a little.
It was very strange.
It made me really uncomfortable.
The new It was really good.
Oh, it was.
The old It did not age well.
No, it did not.
Tim Curry aged well. No one else did.
I have enjoyed seeing the different Georgies that have popped up. I've seen online a couple different people.
The Thing. The one with Kurt Russell. That one's good. It's got some of the best practical effects you'll ever see. Fido, Army of Darkness, Beetlejuice, Tucker and Dale versus Evil, Shaun of the Dead, Young Frankenstein, Bubba Hotep. Hang on. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I like
Don't
it,
you
but
dare.
I'm trying to think of the old ones. Other old ones.
Oh, like Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Sleepaway Camp.
I like them, but I'm trying to think of the ones I really love, and I can't think of any of them. The baby brain just pushes it all out. Mommy brain. Now that she's on the outside.
Hold on. I got one more. Oh, fucking Hellraiser.
I've never seen that.
Oh, really?
Really? We're not watching that tonight.
No, that's not a good idea. You'll have nightmares. The Hellraiser and Hellraiser 2 are some of the most disturbing movies I've ever seen.
Okay.
They're really good. And Sean said I need to watch The Fly with Jeff Goldblum.
You tried, yeah. You told
and
me
then
that.
I tried to do my Jeff Goldblum voice. It was
I'm looking at him, so I can't.
Jeff Goldblum.
Do them. Well, I think that about wraps it up with the Jeff Goldblum impersonation.
Impersonation.
Thanks for hanging out with us this evening. Make sure you subscribe to us on iTunes and whatever else. Stop it. I'm trying to plug our podcast and you're talking over me.
Blame Jeff Goldblum.
Damn you, Jeff Goldblum.
Shake harder, boy.
So, like us on Facebook, He Said, She Said podcast. Instagram, we're at He Said, She Said PC. We haven't posted anything in months and months and months.
We should do a Twitter. One more thing to not post on. One more thing
that we will just ignore. But just make sure you find us wherever you get your podcasts. We're on all of the things, I'm pretty sure, just about. And send us a question if you want, or some feedback. Maybe you like the new format. Maybe you're happier with your listening experience. Maybe you're not. Maybe you liked us bitching and moaning and kind of arguing passive-aggressively at each other. Because that's kind of what we were doing a couple episodes ago.
We were tired.
We were. But anyway, I hope you have a great Halloween.
Thank you for listening. Have a safe, also, Halloween. Be safe. And don't drive like an asshole.
Yeah.
Kids are fragile.
Get an Uber.
No, I meant like when kids are trick-or-treating and stuff.
Like really drinking and
or
driving.
Or just like, don't drive.
Yeah. Halloween is one of the like busiest drunk
It's the Great
driving.
Pumpkins Day. Have some respect.
The biggest drunk driving, one of them of the year. So be safe.
We shall either Uber or walk.
Or no.
It's a short one.
It's a long walk.
Anyway. Thanks for listening.
Goodbye. It's a ghost.
So spooky. Hope you guys weren't too scared. Okay. Thank you all. Goodbye.